Hello children, how are you all? I hope you enjoyed the videos of the lesson Weather, Climate and Adaptations, Part 1, 2, 3 and 4. In this video, you will learn about adaptation in some plants, the classification of living organisms and binomial nomenclature. Learning objectives. We will learn various new things like some of the habitats and characteristics of various plants, adaptation of plants in various regions on the earth, adaptation for ingestion of food in plants, characteristics of living organisms, binomial nomenclature by Carl Linnaeus, keywords, coniferous trees, submerged, water hyacinth, aloe, acacia, conical, dodder, Haustoria, sucking roots, Bakri, Drosera or sundew, binomial nomenclature, concept map, characteristics of plants. A great variety of plants is found on the earth. Some plants have colorful flowers. Some plants grow in water, whereas some are found in deserts with water scarcity. Some plants are found only in snowy regions. Some plants cannot be seen without a microscope, whereas some are huge. All the plants from Kashmir and Rajasthan are not of the same type. You can find a lot more differences between them. Coniferous trees like pine and deodar flourish in snowy regions like Kashmir. However, in the deserts of Rajasthan, plants like cactus and acacia bhabal are to be found. Visit various water bodies such as a river, brook, pond or lake in your surroundings. You find the difference in characteristics between terrestrial and aquatic plants. This means they are getting adapted to a particular environment. Let's focus on different kinds of adaptations in various plants. Adaptation in aquatic plants. Some aquatic plants are firmly rooted in the soil at the bottom of the water bodies. Their stems are submerged, while leaves and flowers float on the surface. Some plants are entirely afloat. Their roots are not anchored in the soil. They are short and fibrous, which enables it to float and pick up lightness. The surfaces of the leaves and stems of many aquatic plants are covered with a waxy layer to prevent rotting. You can see this in lotus plants, for example. This shape helps them to withstand fast currents of water. Air spaces in stems and petioles of aquatic plants are useful for floating in the water. Adaptation in desert plants. Let us learn this with a small activity. Take two potted plants, a cactus and a leafy plant. Tie plastic bags loosely around the leaves of these plants and keep them in sunlight from early in the morning. In the afternoon, bring those pots into the classroom and observe them. You can notice that compared to leafy plants, bags containing cacti contain very little water. Desert plants are either leafless or their leaves are like small needles or have been modified into thorns. As a result, they lose very little water by evaporation. The stem stores water and food and is therefore fleshy. The stems are green as they perform photosynthesis in the absence of leaves. Their roots penetrate deep into the soil and some roots spread away into the soil in search of water. There is a thick layer of waxy substance on the stems of these plants. They are thin and slender like a ribbon. Adaptation in plants of snowy regions. Observe plants like potato, groundnut, yam, water hyacinth, aloe, acacia, carrot, onion, beet, bitter gourd, grapevine, etc. and other plants in your surroundings. In what way are sloping branches useful to plants in a snowy region? Plants of snowy regions mainly include conifers like deodar and pine. These trees are conical in shape due to their sloping branches. In the heavy snowfall and extreme cold in these regions, their conical shape prevents the snow from accumulating on the tree, and the thick bark helps the tree to withstand the cold. Adaptation in plants of forest regions. Various plants, trees, shrubs, and herbs are found in forests. These plants compete amongst themselves for sunlight. Hence, trees grow tall to get sunlight, and climbers and vines grow to a great height with the support of trees. Spring-like tendrils on the stems of some climbers are an example of adaptation. Adaptation in grassland plants. Diverse types of bushes and grasses are found in the grasslands. Fibrous roots of grasses prevent soil erosion. Forests in the equatorial region are dense. Animals like tigers, elephants, and deer can remain hidden in these grasses. However, grasses in cold regions are very short. Animals like the rabbit are found in such grasses. Vast meadows are found in hilly areas as well as plains. Adaptation for ingestion of food in plants. The plants are anchored in the ground and are autotrophic. However, plants like dodder or cuscuta are parasitic. The plant body of the dodder consists of yellow wire-like stems. It is a leafless and cannot perform photosynthesis. However, it has haustoria sucking roots for absorbing nutrients from the host plant. These roots penetrate up to the conducting vessels of the host plant to absorb water and food. Fungi do not have chlorophyll and cannot perform photosynthesis. They obtain food from starchy foodstuffs like bakri and bread. They have root-like fibers for the absorption of food. Plants need nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium for growth. Plants that grow in soil that is deficient in nitrogen, like Drosera, sundew, Venus flytrap, picture plant, etc. fulfill their need for nitrogen by consuming insects. Adaptations are seen in these plants, which serve to attract insects and hold them captive. You have seen how various plants are adapted for survival. Now, we need to know how all these organisms, whether plants or animals, are named and classified. Classification of living organisms. Why are living things classified? What are the criteria used for classification of plants and animals? So, the answer is that it isn't easy to study and remember all the organisms in this diverse living world at the same time. Classification helps in this respect. Different scientists have used different criteria and independently classified plants and animals. A hierarchy is formed in the classification that starts with kingdom Animalia or kingdom Plantae. Further groups and subgroups are formed depending upon basic similarities and differences. This is called the hierarchy of classification. This classification helped us to easily name and remember the organisms' names. There are some conditions to name all these organisms framed by Linnaeus. Let us see. Binomial nomenclature by Carl Linnaeus. Think that there are 4 students with the same name Amit. And while you are discussing about a particular Amit with your friends, how would you know that about which Amit you are talking? It creates confusion, right? This is common with everything, whether a person, place, thing, or animal. You may link some other name in the first or last to identify perfectly. So, in the same way, scientist Carl Linnaeus created a kind of naming called binomial nomenclature. Which helps us to identify the names easily by adding some suffix and prefix. Binomial nomenclature is used to identify each organism. Accordingly, a scientific name has been assigned to each organism. It consists of two parts. The first part is genus and the second part is species. All identified organisms have been assigned a binomial name as per the guidelines of the International Code of Nomenclature. All the organisms of a species are so similar that irrespective of differences in color, height, habitats and habits, they can reproduce among themselves and form new individuals like themselves. For example, all domestic cats in the world belong to the same species. The same is true in the case of animals like hens, cows, dogs, etc. and plants like mango, wheat, maize, etc. I hope you understand well. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe for further more interesting videos. Bye children. Have a great day. All the best.